So today I decided that I want to be able to help people who are thinking about moving to Dallas, Texas. So I have not lived in Dallas, Texas my entire life. I grew up in a small town called Westport, Massachusetts, up north, but I just recently moved to Dallas, Texas about 4 months ago. So I'm living here now for 4 months. My first 2 YouTube videos actually on here are basically my journey, just going through that, which was like the biggest risk I've ever taken in my life. But my goal today is just to go through what I've learned so far, hopefully save everybody some time because I've definitely made some mistakes. So if I can help speed up the process for you, I think that would be good. Now, first point that I want to make, that I want you to keep in mind, is the apartments. So there are a lot of different apartments here, but a lot of them are luxury apartments, which is one thing I was shocked at because up north, everything's very old. There's not a lot going on, but here, more than not, everything was a luxury apartment. The amenities were awesome. A lot of them have these super nice pools, really cool like event centers and like dog parks. There's a lot of people bringing their dogs around. Like up north, a lot of the apartments don't even allow pets. So here it's like almost every single one allows pets. There might be a small fee, maybe 50 to 100 bucks, but not bad to get your dog, your cat, hamster, platypus, I don't know what you have, but you can throw them in there. Now the event centers were awesome. So far since I've been here, I was a part of a seminar/workshop for health and wellness that I got a chance to speak at, and we actually held it at an event center in one of the apartment complexes, which was awesome. It was a huge space, bar area, we had food, drinks, there's like a little library with some nice seating. We fit, I think it was probably anywhere from 10 to 15 people in there. Now you could easily have 30, 40 people like a birthday party, so that's one thing to keep an eye out. If you're looking to have like any events or you need to use it for like meetings or things like that, a lot of them have that cool amenity. Another thing to keep in mind is the gyms. So I'm a big gym guy. I've been a personal trainer for a long time. I've been a coach for a long time. So for me, I need a gym. I need somewhere I can work out, get my pump on in the morning, work up a sweat. And a lot of these luxury apartments have amazing setups for their gyms. A lot of them will have like treadmills, ellipticals, bikes. Some have rowers. A lot of them will have free weights up to anywhere from like 50 to 80 pounds, cable machines, and some will have like Pelotons that do a little bit more bougie with like medicine balls, kettlebells, bands, and things like that. But a lot of them will have pretty much everything you need for a workout. So if you're somebody who has a tough time holding yourself accountable to make it into the gym and you feel like having to drive 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes to a gym, this is gonna be good for you because you can literally just walk down the stairs. So I don't wanna hear any other excuses, but that'll make it a little easier to get those workouts in for sure. I was gonna mention, even some of them had outdoor workout areas as well. Another great thing is that there are flexible leases with all of them. That was something big that I was looking for just because when I was moving down here, I wasn't necessarily sure what the environment was gonna look like. Wasn't even sure what I was gonna be doing for work. So it was gonna be big for me to be able to adapt and change and pivot if I needed to leave. So doing something like a 12 to 24 month lease didn't make any sense to me whatsoever. So if you're somebody who's coming down here for work or over here for work, you're gonna have some options here for some flexible lease terms. So the one that I went with actually here, so right now I'm in my studio apartment, it is a 4-month lease altogether. So the 4-month lease was only an extra 50 bucks in comparison to the 12-month lease. So like the $50 difference wasn't a big deal for me. Some of them, keep an eye, will have like a $500 to like $600 difference depending on the months. And I guess the way the algorithm works out for the commitments on the leases, it depends on the retention rate for that apartment complex. So if they see great retention numbers from people signing on to 4-month leases where they stick on beyond it, you'll get cheaper prices. Another thing to keep in mind is the actual like touring process. So don't make the huge mistake that I did, and I probably set up, I don't know, maybe 15, 20, maybe even close to 30 tours in the first 2 to 3 weeks I was here. I don't know why. I think it's just because I had so much free time on my hands. I didn't have a job yet, so I was like, I basically made touring my full-time job, and it gave me an excuse to basically drive to different areas. So I was booking in anywhere from 5 to 8 apartment tours a day. You know, they take anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes. You run through, you see the apartments, and then bang, I move on to the next one, and I'd leave with a little bit of paperwork with some leasing options and information. Now, I quickly realized, or I can't even say quickly because it took me like 2 to 3 weeks to figure out, but I basically realized eventually that I was wasting my time because all these luxury apartments basically had the same, if not identical, amenities altogether. They all had really nice pools, the event centers, either like small areas with like pool tables, different like game places. They would also have like gyms, outdoor, different amusement sites and things like that. Some did have exclusive options, like there was one that was across from a AAA baseball stadium. So if you went with like any lease option, they gave you, I think it was like 3 free tickets to every single game for the year, which at the time didn't matter because the pandemic had closed everything down, but I believe it's open now. So it's something to keep in mind, is some will have like exclusive offers. Most of them had like printing centers and like Starbucks, like espresso makers and things like that. So most of them were the same. So at that point I was like, why am I touring these? I know what's gonna be inside. I know they're all gonna be nice. They all have like stainless steel appliances. Some of the layouts were pretty similar. Spacing was pretty similar. The biggest thing I can say is check out the actual areas they're in. So depending on the area you're looking for, whether it's like city, suburb, or maybe more like in the woods, a little bit more quiet, scenic, you're going to want to look at those things. Do you want to be in walking distance from a coffee shop or restaurant or mall? Do you want to be closer to your work or job site? Do you want to be a little bit farther away? Do you want to miss the tolls on the road? Because there are some tolls here that can add up pretty quick, or do you want to be able to go back roads? So these are all things to keep in mind as you're going and you're looking. Now, once you find the area in general that you really like, then I'd say set up 3-4 tours, specify some nice spots you're looking for, find the lease options, and then you can kind of follow through and rock with it. Now, if you're looking for a spot and let's say it's like a make or break, whether you have like something like a washer or dryer, maybe they have the attachment, they don't have the washer and dryer, but everything else is perfect. Keep in mind there are tons of great rental opportunities here for like washer and dryer. I think there's one, I think it's just Texas Washer and Dryer Rental. I think it's like $45 or $50 a month or something to rent that. So that's a good option as well. And there are plenty of cleaners around that you can use as well if you don't want to, rent something in the meantime. How about location? So location so far, I'll be honest, I've been driving around a lot, so I feel like at some points I almost know the areas a little bit better than some people that have lived here their entire lives. But basically when I first arrived, I was in like the Grapevine, Dallas, kind of outside area. But then I was exploring a little bit of Dallas, the actual city itself, which was cool. There's just a lot of new restaurants, a lot of large buildings, things like that. Tons of great restaurants and outdoor seating, which was cool. Some different like Peruvian, South American style restaurants. You have your Japanese, different Asian cultures of food, which was cool in Dallas. And then you also have Fort Worth. So Fort Worth, you have downtown Fort Worth, more city vibes, a little bit more old historical type of center, or so it seems to me. And then you have the Stockyards in Fort Worth, which was really cool because it's like kind of Western style. They have the rodeo spot right over there. You can go and see some cool barbecue spots. I think I went over to, I think it was Risky's Barbecue, where I got some unlimited ribs. Anytime I can get unlimited food, especially ribs, I'm there. Real solid spot, definitely recommend it. Now, as far as some different spots, I also went to Frisco and Plano, which I really enjoyed. I thought both of those areas were cool. They're both like back to back. There's a lot of growth happening there. The Dallas Cowboys practice stadium is there. That's actually where the AAA stadium with the apartment complex was as well. Tons of brand new luxury apartments in that area. There was one that I almost pulled the trigger on that was like walking distance from a Target. Who doesn't want to be walking distance from Target? Probably a good thing, no, because I'd definitely be bankrupt. I'd be out of money altogether. So there was also some great coffee shops walking distance, but just didn't end up going with it because it was a little bit too far of a travel for me. Driving wise, taking the tolls, it just added up to just too much money altogether in the meantime. But Frisco and Plano would definitely be spots that I would check out for sure. And then obviously in Texas, you have your 2 airports. So you need to decide if you're gonna be traveling a lot, you might wanna be close to like the Dallas, DFW, Dallas-Fort Worth Airport, where, Colleyville, Euless, Richardson's pretty close, Grapevine. A lot of these places are 15-20 minutes driving distance from Dallas-Fort Worth Airport. And then you also have Dallas Love Field Airport, which is like closer into the Dallas, the city itself. So within those 2 airports, Dallas-Fort Worth typically flies more American Airlines, as opposed to your Dallas Love Field is more Southwest Airlines. So depending on the airline you like to go with, keep that in mind for the 2 airports, depending, right? Now, how about the food situation? So I'll be honest with you, food is something you don't have to worry about if you're picky. There's like a million different options here. If you're moving to Texas, obviously first thing you're probably thinking of is barbecue. Yes, barbecue is amazing here. tons of like ribs, pulled pork. My friends honestly probably hate me because I talk about the fact that I've eaten brisket every day of the week, whether it's brisket sliders, brisket tacos, tons of great spots. Great taco place, Torchy's Tacos. You have Hop Daddy's, which has some great burgers that I know both of those are like chains in the area as well. Risky's Barbecue. I've been to Wildwood Smokehouse. There's a few different great spots, that I've enjoyed, but I've also had some really good sushi, which has been surprising. I can't remember the name of the spot, but it was in Dallas. Probably the best sushi I've ever had, which is very surprising coming from somebody from up north in Massachusetts where the ocean was 15 minutes from me. They also have plenty of vegan spots, plenty of healthy eating. I love smoothies, acai bowls, coffee shops. There's tons of great coffee shops as well. Deep Ellum is a spot over in Dallas, down in the city. Great spot for tons of food, definitely very lively, a little bit more of like a rowdy environment, so it might be a little out of your character if you're more quiet and laid back if you go there at night, because it does get very loud. There's a lot of people there, a lot of bars, food places, but that's one place to check out for sure. So the food, awesome in Texas, Ken. Nothing to complain about, except for the fact that as a fitness person, I'm gonna get kind of heavy because there's a lot to eat. Now, weather-wise, so the weather's been interesting so far since I've been here. When I first arrived, it was in mid-December. It was starting to get cold. There was some 70, 75 days, and then it slowly creeped down until in February we had this crazy ice storm, snowstorm here in Texas. Now, coming from somebody in Massachusetts where we get at least a couple of feet of snow a year, there's multiple -degree days. I'm very used to snow. It's not a big deal. I'm used to shoveling snow. In fact, before I moved here, I shoveled snow in January when I returned to Massachusetts for a week. So coming back here was no big deal, except for the fact that the state is not prepped for snow, right? So there are no salt trucks, right? There are no plows, there are no shovels or snow blowers. No one even has ice salt or ice melt. So that was difficult. The roads are basically covered in like 2 to 3 inches of ice. People were sliding all over the place. There was actually a terrible accident with a bunch of, like a big car pile up on the highway. A few people lost their lives. So prayers up to anybody that was impacted by that accident. But I need some warm weather. So it actually picked up pretty fast the week after that, moved up about 50 or 60 degrees from, I think it was negative at some point, up to like 70 for the following week. So like a 70-degree change. And then pretty much from there, March and April have been, I'd say, anywhere from 60 to about 70, 75, with some like 80 to 85-degree days mixed in. Nothing to really complain about. Weather's been pretty cool here since. So I'm excited because everyone keeps telling me that I'm not ready for this dry heat coming in the summer. But I think I'm ready. Now, last but not least is going to be like outdoor activities, like what is there to do here. So far, I love hiking. I found 2 pretty cool hiking spots so far. One was in Cedar Ridge Park, which was cool. A little bit deeper, a little bit past like where I was living on the other side of Dallas. And the scenery overall was pretty cool. A lot of elevation, which was surprising because a lot of Texas is flat and you can see pretty much everywhere except for the Cedar Ridge place. Some cool little hiking trails that went up, verticality, very nice view. Good little workout spot, a bunch of people working out. One thing I will say, it is close by a not so great neighborhood, and unfortunately, like a moron, I left my backpack in my car to go on a quick hike, and I was only here for about 3 weeks or so. Somebody had broken in my car, stole the backpack. There was my MacBook in it, a notebook that I'd written all of my goals from the last like 10 years. I've written a lot of stuff in it. So that book, honestly, more than anything, kills me that it's gone. More sentimental than anything else, and a few other sentimental pieces in the backpack. But yeah, everything's gone. So hopefully, if anybody sees a black notebook or an old MacBook or a North Face gray backpack, let me know, because I'd love to have this stuff back. But yeah, just keep in mind, be aware of your surroundings. Now, the second spot was called Arbor Hills. I believe Arbor Hills is in Frisco. Cool little spot. You have like some biking paths. There's tons of people there. Everyone's super friendly. There's like tons of dogs. Everyone has their animals around. I even got the chance to see some wildlife over there. The little bobcat was wandering around, which was really cool. Never seen a bobcat before, and that was only like day 2 when I arrived in Texas. But yeah, there's just some cool paths all throughout. You can stick with the biking paths or go off the trails on the dirt path. And then it also reaches up to basically this super nice lookout. You can take some cool pictures, nice photos, grab some video, or just take a look just out. It's just a great spot to just like talk with people. and that was just a good spot overall. Found some great little workout areas upside, some great biking paths and different trails. They're basically everywhere. There's even some different spots to play like outdoor volleyball, which I didn't expect, because I miss the beach a ton. I miss the sand. I miss, playing some volleyball, spike ball, throwing the football around with my friends at the beach, and seeing some sand and some volleyball courts outside have been pretty cool. There's plenty of basketball courts. I love playing basketball, so that's a great thing as well. And some great different fields and things that you could go and run or just get a workout in. So there's plenty of opportunity there. I'm going to Austin, Texas in about 4 weeks. Very excited for that, because a lot of people said that there's actually more to do in Austin outside than there is in Dallas. I'm excited to go paddleboarding in Dallas. I think we're also going to go paddleboarding down in Austin at the end of this Spartan race, so that should be cool. I loved paddleboarding when I was in Florida. I had a blast with it, so I'd be excited to do it here as well. But I'm curious if anyone that watches this video lives in Dallas or has been here before, has some recommendations for food spots or things to do, please let me know. And if anybody's moving here and has some questions, not like I'm a master, but after 4 months, I've put in a lot of travel time. I've talked to a lot of people. I just tend to be a pretty outgoing guy, so I get a pretty good feel for the place very, very quick. And if you have any questions, please let me know so I can help you get as comfortable as you can moving into Dallas, because it's a really cool spot overall. And one thing I will say, if you're coming here for opportunities, this is the place. If you are coming here to pick up a new job, to start a new career, to work on these side projects, whatever it is, this is the place for you. I've only been here for 4 months. I had an opportunity to do a workshop in the seminar that I had a chance to speak at. Honestly, a few weeks later, I had a chance to do a fitness modeling shoot with this upstart company that was coming up, growing their brand. That was awesome. Got a chance to do some workouts for them, record some video. That was really cool, and it's only been 4 months. So there's a lot of things going on here that if you just put yourself out there, you're outgoing, take whatever opportunities come to you, and you're gonna have some fun, and I think you'll really like it here. So thank you guys for watching my YouTube video here. There's so many things that I'm working on for myself with some different side projects, and this was such a big risk for me to take, just moving here in general in life. I'm big into fitness, so I will be recording some different fitness content, maybe prepping for this Spartan race. I'll be very excited for, but I basically just want to be able to take any experiences I have and be able to relay it to people, and hopefully it can help some people take some risks, improve their lives in some type of way, and that'll make me happy. So thank you guys again for watching. Hope to see you guys soon. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I look forward to talking with you guys soon. Peace.